Hello, 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 and welcome to this edition of Office Hours with Lanora. It is actually Office Hours with Lanora, the home edition. It's been a long couple of weeks, and I know just not for myself, but for many of you. Originally, on this edition of Office Hours with Lanora, we were and still will talk about the process of becoming licensed as a real estate broker for the state of Illinois. But let's address some things or some questions about the big old elephant that's in the room and how the Chicago Association of Realtors, as well as the Realtors Real Estate School, we're working. How we're conducting and handling business and trying to keep it as normal as possible for all of our members and prospective students, as well as all of our students. So thank you for joining me on today. Today is not going to be a normal or regular office hours with Lanora, because you have the freedom to come on at any point in time to ask those questions, especially if you're someone who is now interested in the time, that extra time. I keep hearing people say that they have now. I haven't had as much extra time, but that extra time that you have now by being home and being sheltered in place because of COVID-19, the coronavirus. So I'm just checking in with everybody. How you doing? In my Wendy Williams voice. How are all of you doing? I pray and I hope that each and every one of you, although you're at home and we're all confined, are in a good place. I know this isn't the ideal situation for many, but it is what it is. It's what we have. And it is a good time for us to start looking at the inner beings and finding those things that we can do, that we've always wanted to do, some acts that we wanted to continue on, or some thoughts that we've had about a new career or something of that nature. Hello from Vietnam. Hello. Wow. All the way in Vietnam. Nice. So originally the discussion was about the broker pre-licensing course. Let me tell you first what we're doing. As you can see, I'm home. I'm in my own living room. And my children, you might hear them in the background. It's lunchtime for them, so they're eating, and I am maintaining business as usual as an employee of the Realtors Real Estate School. What that means for classes at our school: physical classroom options of any course has been canceled. We're not hosting or holding a physical classroom version of any of our courses, whether it be a pre-licensing course, whether it be continuing education, or any form of a certification or designation course, simply because of the stay-at-home mandate by the federal, state, and local governments. Done. What we have done is increase the number of webinars that we are hosting, as well as online coursework. The webinars are a great way to have the best of both worlds, in a sense, to have a live instructor as well as to be at home. I know that I've heard several concerns from students who, I work more on a pre-licensing side and designations and certifications. So several of those students have expressed some concerns like, hey, I wanted to kind of come to a class because I wanted to get away. I wanted to be able to be in a structured environment like a school to make sure that I was focused and targeted on my education. Now the children are home, the kids are home. It does make it a little harder, but this is where we have to just kind of pack a little patience and everyone go to their corner of the room and we all achieve the same goal. So that means parents, if you are considering a career in real estate, just write my notes, sanitizer. Can someone bring me some sanitizer, please? See, keep your hands clean. Keep your hands out your face. Parents, if this is a time that, yes, you are home with your children and you're interested in taking Thank you. Sanitizer, big bottle. If you are interested in taking a class in real estate, do it now. Do it now. If you need that structured environment, consider one of the webinar courses that we're offering. That instructor is no different than any instructor that will be in a classroom setting. He or she will go over all of the questions. They'll be able to answer those questions. A webinar is set up where, you can't see you'll be able to see the instructor. The instructor can't see you. You're going to be able to unmute yourself to ask questions if you have questions, and the entire group of students that are on that webinar will be able to hear your questions. Someone might have the same question that you have, and it's a great way to try to keep unity in a classroom setting, just everybody in a different home or room. Another thing with webinars, the instructors will constantly see questions. If you type your question, they're going to be able to see that. And then it's a great way to track to ensure that they've answered all of the questions as they're coming in. I myself have never taken a webinar course for educational purposes, just for like informational purposes. And I sat in on the webinar course that our Saturday students who just started class on March 21st. I was thoroughly impressed with that webinar setting, and I will continue to sit in that webinar course because many of you know that I had a real estate license. I let my real estate license unfortunately lapse, and I was working towards getting that license back. I had my exam scheduled for this month, and as of right now, AMP, which is the proctor for the state, we all know because of the mandate of the stay-at-home mandate, they're not offering any testing appointments. So I too have had to put my exam on the back burner. But I will continue to study. I will continue to practice. I'm going to continue to be in that Saturday class so that I can get a refresher in a sense for my educational purposes too. But kudos to my instructor, Miss Risa, on the webinar. She's doing a phenomenal job. All of our instructors for the Realtors Real Estate School are doing a phenomenal job. So don't be afraid about webinars. I know that it's not for some people who ideally want to be in a class. It's not even a thought or a consideration, but it should be. I want you to think about it. What better time than now to get it done? How many of you can honestly say that up until now, you've had a few weeks, a month coming up to just focus on, yes, your work if you're still working like me, as well as to be able to take care of some personal goals that you want to accomplish for yourself. Thank you, Kevin. My friend Kevin Tomlinson is on the web on this live, and he does mention that webinar is a good educational option. So I appreciate that, Kevin. Thank you for the thing that we can do. Sorry about that. Another thing that we can do is an online course. Online classes are another platform where you can work independently by yourself. You can log on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you can get your work done without the extra students a part of a course or even that live instructor. But you will have control of completing your course separately than everybody else. Is it hard? It can be. Nothing in life truly is ever really easy if it's worth earning. But the online course gives you the ability to kind of spend 30 minutes to an hour to 8 hours to 2 hours to however long you want to do it and get the work done. So I would want you working right now. If you don't have anything to do, but you've been considering a career in real estate, let's talk. Let me help you work through and overcome those objections and obstacles that you've seen for yourself to help you understand the importance of using this time wisely. So many of you also, I want to personally thank all of the phone calls, all of the emails, all of the students that have contacted our info box for the Realtors Real Estate School. Everyone that has had to transfer from a classroom course to a webinar or online course to complete their studies, pre-licensing or continuing education. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you from all of us at the Chicago Association of Realtors, the Realtors Real Estate School, and especially in the education department of RRES. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. Thanking you for just buckling down and staying committed to getting the work done. The extension for those students that have a license currently would have been to renew that license for brokers as well as upcoming leasing agents. Brokers would have had to have their certifications and renewal done by April 30th, so the end of this month. Leasing agents would have been July 31st. At this point, the governor has extended, as well as IDFPR, have extended that time to September 30th. So if you did not know or have not heard, there is an extension in place for you to complete your continuing education coursework. Work now. Don't wait till September 30th. There's no reason for people to wait if you have the time to get it done now. Use your time effectively. Let's look at taking some additional classes. Maybe you wanted to learn more about commercial. Maybe you wanted to learn more about sustainability projects. Maybe you wanted to learn more about mold and other ways and becoming a property manager or something of that nature. We offer those types of classes, and it's a good time for you to be looking into them. So we've talked about the elephant in the room, Corona, COVID-19. And I pray again that everyone is doing well and that we keep those individuals in mind that are not, and continue to keep them in our prayers and well wishes. Those families that are affected, as well as the people on the front lines, the doctors, the nurses, the folks at Walgreens that are filling prescriptions, the grocery store workers, as well as, did you know that real estate professionals are considered essential as well? It is us as the real estate professionals that are making sure that people still have a home to call home. And that's important. And we're not going to stop working. We're going to use every precaution in place to ensure that those dreams and those realities do come true for the individuals that are in a position to buy or sell their properties. We do ask for a bunch of patience, as some things are not going to move as fast as they normally would in a normal transaction. So just keep that patience. I was literally sitting here on my couch a few days ago, and one of my neighbors across the street is selling their home, and I did see some people out actually on a showing for that property, and it made my heart smile, because although with all of the confusion in the world and the fear in some people and just the unknown, there is still someone out here, or still a group of people, or still others that are trying to keep life as normal as possible. So let's talk a little more about the requirements about becoming a broker, since that was the subject at hand. The broker pre-licensing course has transitioned from 90 hours that were originally a requirement to now 75 hours as of February 1st, 2020. So instead of completing 90 hours, we've moved to 60 hours for our pre-licensing topics, which is the foundation, I like to call it. It's the areas that we're going to be studying about fair housing, about the contract itself, going through each and every line of that contract, learning more about marketing regulations, which can say, which can't say, which can do, which can't do. Learning as well about federal and state laws that affect real estate. The bad word to some people, the math of real estate. We're going to be covering a lot of that too. So nothing has really changed in terms of the core structure of what is covered in that pre-licensing portion. It just decreased from 75 hours to 60 hours now. You're still required to complete 15 hours on the back end, which is the last 15 hours of your course, as an interactive course or portion of the broker pre-licensing course. So 75 hours total, 60 hours towards topics, 15 hours towards the interactive portion. I've gotten a lot of students who, for our school, the interactive portion used to only be in a classroom environment. Note to self, we have made that a webinar. So ideally speaking, you can get everything done from home. You can do 60 hours in a webinar or 60 hours working independently online and complete the final 15 hours in a webinar setting from your home. It's doable, guys. We've made and moved mountains to get this for you. So use this time wisely to get your work done. What else has changed about the 75-hour broker pre-licensing course? Not very much. Not very much. The time frames have changed, meaning 90 hours to 75 hours. I know at the Realtors Real Estate School, we've made some adjustments because of this time. Classes used to start at 8:30 in the morning. They now start at 9 a.m. and end at 4:30 p.m. if you're doing a full day class or a course with us. There are opportunities now to take all of this as a webinar. So it's all laid out for you guys to have an opportunity to learn about those options. I'm a phone call away, 312-214-5513, 312-214-5513. Or you can always email me questions, concerns, wanting or the goals to go over any options for you. I'm at ltolliver@chicagorealtor.com. L as in Lanora, T as in Tom, OLLI, V as in Victory, ER at chicagorealtor.com. Okay. I know on the next live office hours with Lanora, the home edition, we're going to be talking about the leasing agent course and the changes, if there have been any with that course going on, and so on and so forth. Listen, like you, I've been nervous, but I also have been steadfast in my faith. Check on, from the phones, hopefully, check on your loved ones. Make sure everyone is okay. Have those conversations with your loved ones, with your friends. Make sure that they're in a good place. Check on the elderly, our senior community that are home and maybe they're home alone. A phone call from you might lift a spirit today. Be patient with everything that's going on. Rome wasn't built in a day. Let the professionals do what they do and help us get the answers to this coronavirus, COVID-19, as well as getting the answers to just general health questions. Take this time to maybe take 10, 15, 30 minutes to do a walk in your house, up some stairs, out the back door if you're in a home or an apartment setting, and walk from the backyard into the house again. Wash your hands. Make sure you don't put your hands in your face as well. But take this time to kind of work on you. Spend some time with you and find ways to enrich your own life so that when we do eventually, and I pray that we will soon, all get past and come out of and beat the coronavirus and COVID-19, that we come out as better people, and that we've taken the time to improve ourselves, to make sure that we're checking on others, to show compassion to everyone, whether it be at the dry cleaner, at the grocery store, or a part of federal government. Let's all be patient and respectful and love each other. And I thank you for joining me. I'm a phone call away. I'm an email away. And I can definitely help as best as I can. I know this wasn't the original setup for this particular office hours with Lanora, but hey, I want you to know I'm thinking about you. I care about you, and I appreciate all of your patience that you have given us in this so difficult time. So you guys take care. Again, continue to keep those hands washed. Use your sanitizer. That's important. And I look forward to talking to you real soon. Be blessed. Bye-bye.